What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hollywood Already Did It, your movie podcast, where we look at why movies are rebooted, remade, sequelized, or otherwise retold, and if there is any relevance to do it in the modern day. Sometimes there is, and sometimes there isn't, and sometimes I find a reason, and the movie still isn't that great. As always, I'm your host, Blake Schultz, and with me is Terrence Tatum.
Hello, everyone.
And today, how do you even
Ah,
begin explaining this? We're doing Strangers Chapter 2. This is now a movie franchise that is easier to just dive in.
yeah, just jump into it.
For those who don't know, a movie called Strangers came out nearly 20 years ago. It became a cult classic, a hit following. It opens with an incorrect statistic about crime in America that has been debunked
We're
many
gonna run with
times.
it.
But we're gonna not only that, we're going to update the statistic for every year of release of the sequels. The movie draws from, I believe they've often said, the Sharon Tate murders, the Cabin Redding, the Reddy family. I always mess up that name. And apparently a real life moment that the creator had where someone knocked on the door of his house and asked if somebody was there who didn't live in the house. And it turned out these were robbers who were knocking on doors. And if you didn't answer the door, they robbed you. Proving that there is, in fact, a reason for the crime right away.
It's
I
not
don't want to
random.
make little of somebody's traumatic, terrified experience, but to then go make a movie where you're like, Miranda murder. It's like, no,
Randomness.
that was a very strategic, targeted crime, in fact. They made two of those. They both made a lot of money, costing nothing. And recently, a director and the writer of Die Hard 2 and many other great movies, which is making this equally preposterous and
Let
strange.
let's give him his flowers. Cliffhanger, Die Hard 2, The Long Kiss Goodnight. Rennie Harlan is a re
Rennie Harlan
was
is
a
a
really good director.
fantastic writer and director. It is as if he's playing a prank on all of us. That he now knows he can walk into the studio and be like, guys, I've got it. And really, he was like, I don't know, I bet I can make something for $3 million and make it turn a profit. Will he be right? Only time will tell. Um, but
Yeah.
he filmed all three of these back to back to back, I believe in 2022. They've all been finished, they've been done. The first one came out last year to terrible reviews. We talked about it
Mhm.
on this podcast. It is just a copy paste job of the first movie. If you copy and pasted a high resolution image and then into a worse
Like tickle with a
image.
phone.
Yeah,
Like a high def photo and
like a
tickle with my phone.
demake.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It would be like if you remade like Super Mario 64, but even worse than like the 8-bit Mario looking. And you were like,
hmm
see,
It's the same,
me
right?
too. So that brings us here.
Yeah.
The movie was apparently delayed, I think, between all of the other reasons why movies are delayed, but also in part to apparently fix things. What they
Yeah, that's
fixed is
what's
beyond me.
baffling. That's what's baffling about this is that they had time to go back and tweak things according to what they heard from the response of the strangers, and this is what we got.
And I don't know. For all we know, they only went back to part three and they were like, this is my Empire
Yeah.
Strikes Back. This is my Godfather 2. This is the magnum opus of it. And you need this movie. And I'll tell you what, it worked because I hated every frame of this movie. And I walked out being like, I hate that I need the third one now. Like, I
I,
hate that it
yes,
worked.
I'm at a point now because I'm with you. I did not like anything about this movie, but I am at the point now where I need to see the third one just to see why there was a room where people walked in and said green light all three at once. Like what did they pitch that was so strong? They're like,
Well,
yes, that's the story. Go with it. Let's see it.
here, and I don't want to get too superhero comic booky right away, but this is very akin to whenever they're like, we're going to give the Joker an origin story. And everyone's like, but what's fun about the Joker is that he's an
It's
unreliable
chaos.
narrator
Yeah.
and he's chaos for chaos's sake. And we don't know. And one of his best lines in the comics is if I have an origin story, I like to keep it multiple choice. And they're like, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here we go. Sad stand-up comic. This is a movie that begins, this is a franchise, not even a movie. This is a series of films that goes out of its way to start every single movie being like, did you know in this year, this many murders were random? There was no reason. They didn't know the victim, or the victim didn't know the murderer, rather. That it just, oh, it just happened to happen.
And this
And
movie
then
itself, and there's a frame that gets rid of all the other words and then just hangs on random.
has the word random, and yet we are dedicated
Give a
now to
backstory.
being like not random, which is an amazing. This is why I'm like, this is a prank. This has to be like
Yeah.
just not. There has to be some weird Hollywood accounting we don't know about with this movie, where later it'll
This
just
is
be
a
like
write-off for somebody
tax
that's like, yeah,
purposes. Yeah,
right.
this is yeah, this feels like someone had so much money and they were like, if I just do this, I can like build this cabin and I won't have to pay for the cabin.
Yeah.
And here we go. Now I have this cabin in the
It's
woods.
like
But
a studio way of cleaning money or washing money from Breaking Bad. Like we're doing some
yeah,
illicit
no,
activities over
if
here,
you
and we're going to use
rebooted
this.
Breaking Bad and instead of the laundromat were like they're laundering money in a movie franchise and
Like the
this was the
Stranger
movie
Trilogy.
franchise, I would believe it.
Hmm.
I would this is an Argo situation where they are
Hmm.
clearly trying to like do something else.
Yeah.
Like that because it is preposterous how let's get into it from the start. So everyone complains about cliffhanger movies very
Yeah.
often. Spider-Verse is the popular one. I don't know, Empire Strikes Back,
Empire.
Matrix 2, a
Hmm.
lot Empire, Two Towers. There are a lot of movies where we're like, where's the ending? And we're like, don't worry, it's a planned trilogy. There's a third one, there will be an ending. Those movies that I just mentioned though have a beginning. This movie doesn't have that. And I've been racking my brain, Terrence, for the last like 3 days. And I haven't watched any of the movies to prove myself wrong, but I'm pretty sure that every other movie with a cliffhanger starts with a different character than the character we left with, as if to start the movie fresh. There is another, with the exception of maybe Return of the Jedi, which has big yellow text telling you what's happening right at the top.
Right. They give you a forward beforehand. Yeah.
Like the third Matrix starts
Yeah.
somewhere else. We learn about a new
It's
character,
because you're
and then we
basically
catch
like
up.
almost learning about a different circumstance or even like a parallel story that's happening. Like we're learning about that and then we'll merge them together.
This starts the way like Netflix shows go, where they're designed to be binged, and it just starts media res.
Next episode, click. All right, sure.
She is just in the hospital,
Yeah.
uh, told that her fiance dies. I love that she corrects them when they're like, your boyfriend. And she's like, that was my fiance.
Irrelevant. Either way, still dead.
Not, I also didn't see a ring on her hand. I don't know what to
Right.
tell you.
We never
Um,
got to that point.
yeah, we we start here. And then we have, I don't know the actor's name, but I wish I did because him and Madeline are doing some of the greatest, weirdest acting in this movie. The sheriff that we immediately meet, who is speaking to her like a supervillain. Like he's
Hmm.
like he knows everything. He shuts down his partner when she's like, "Hey, has anyone else in this town ever been murdered?" Normal question.
Yeah.
But he delivers all of his lines like he's like a twisty mustached train robbing villain. And I need to know what movie he's in because it is superior to
Well,
this one.
well, I think that happens with all the characters not named Maya. Like they want you to believe that everyone is a red herring, is a possible person to be responsible for. Like nobody is good.
But
Everybody's a red herring.
the
And it's
difference is everyone else kind of plays straight, with the exception of one other character we'll get to.
yes,
He's talking to her like he has her captured somewhere.
he does. Like,
He's
yeah.
talking to her like it's a Mission Impossible movie and he has Tom Cruise captured. This
Yeah.
is like when Dr. Evil has Austin Powers and
And
is
I'm telling
just
you
so
all the plans.
cavalier.
Yeah, I'm telling you all the plans that I've had. Yeah, between that and then this them going to the diner sequence and like everyone knowing that this girl is in the hospital and like drug and like
She's a
she was
celebrity.
like yeah, she
This
becomes
entire
a
movie.
known and like My biggest thing in this movie was like, all right, I know she goes to the hospital, but it seems like it's that same night. It does not feel like enough time has passed from the end of the first movie to this, where she is now a rock star in this town.
Yeah, seconds. It is because this is a similar problem that we had when we talked about Wolfman. They've seemingly chosen a location in like the middle of America or in the South or somewhere, but clearly no one has been to these parts of America because it is like a giant wilderness, and
Mhm.
the town seems to be the diner, this lake house,
In a gas
this
station.
other house, and this gas station. And we don't really know. I guess she uses the like FaceTime video. She uses the
Mhm.
phone. So like we can assume the internet exists.
Yeah,
But like yeah, you're like the news spreads
so
so
fast.
quickly
Yeah.
that if you had been like, "Oh, the whole town is are the three murderers," I'd been like, that's fair.
Well, because the
Or they
problem
do
that
this so often that this
right,
is like
this is
there was a
the norm.
survivor.
They all go to the diner, hear up, and then people, the killers, who are there, and they kind of just do it. The thing that got me the most though is like, again, because I get that it's a small town, but if this is happening in the same time in less than an hour, she goes to the hospital. She's in the hospital. They then go to a diner, give that information, and then subsequently they are at the hospital like that. Like they've got a teleportation system to get back to the hospital very
No,
quickly.
you would think that the town, for all of these giant sweeping shots of mountains and forests and rivers, appears to be the size of a small mall.
Correct.
Like
Yeah.
it is very indicative of how I felt about Wolfman, where I was like, you've built out this world, but you've posited that there's just like this gorgeous vacation spot
Hmm.
that is like for people. And when you look at other horror movies, your Friday the 13th, almost any cabin in the woods, any sort of cabin movie, there's like one or two moments where they're like, we have to go into town. We
Yeah.
have to go
You
into the
have to
town.
show a populated city or at least a populated town to show that, hey, there are
And
people. And you have to do the work. Like as a writer, you have to do the work to explain why these town folks aren't here or present at the major kill sequence. It
apparently,
just shows
Terrence, you
not.
do not.
You don't. Apparently, you don't. Hell, the hospital in this movie just becomes vacant. Like, no, everyone just stops working at the
Oh
exact
yeah,
same time.
so I took notes in the theater because nobody else was there. The first one we've already kind of talked about, but I do want to I could do this one note forever. Um we meet the sheriff who is like, don't tell her anything about anything ever. The next time we see the sheriff in the diner, which apparently is where the town does all of their business is
It's the town
conducted,
hall. It's the town
they
hall.
just
Yeah.
they just let two people come and give them theories about why this woman survived. One of the theories is that she's the killer.
She did herself.
What what cop? What other even
Who doesn't
movie
shut
with
that down?
cops?
Yeah.
Like yeah, like right, like even other movies where the town is small enough and everyone knows the sheriff, because that trope exists where it's like it's small. Yeah, we all know him.
Correct.
No movie that I can think of has a moment where somebody is just like, Sheriff, I saw you were having coffee working on that case for that murder. Can I tell you what I think? If
Like,
anything, those
no.
happen, and the sheriff has a moment where he's like, we need to stop these crazy rumors. The cops are on it. We're
Correct. Like,
stop
we are the
spreading
ones. Yeah.
misinformation. And this guy is just like, tell me what you think,
What you
darling.
got?
And then later on, at the same diner, is like, we can't get the internal affairs mentioned. Do you want them snooping around? And then his partner is like, well, her and I only started up after. And then they get cut off,
Yeah.
implying that his partner was like having an affair with someone whose partner was murdered,
Yeah.
and they both just find this to be a jovial thing to joke
Yeah,
about.
it's a good chatting
It
over sandwiches.
these char it is it, and this is what I mean, where I was like, this sheriff and this he is in another film entirely
Yeah.
where he gets to be like Dirk Dastardly in Wacky Races, but has won. Like
Yeah.
he just gets to be like, I'm not gonna tell you what's going on.
Yeah. It's after we do the hospital sequence, and then there's the whole I
The
think my
empty
favorite, the empty
hospital.
hospital. I think I texted you after I was watching, like, hold on. And there's not even a janitor here. Like after hours, there's no. I
I'm
see a
glad
mop.
you
I see a mop,
because
but there's
I wrote
nobody
down why
here.
is no one else in the hospital, and then I was like, well, maybe while I was writing down my other note about the investigators at the diner, I missed something of an alarm went
Like an
off, and
alarm
they
went
were
off
like,
and
the
said, "Clear
killers
the
are here.
hospital." Yeah,
No, no, no. This hospital just
it
closes
just
like a
it's
Starbucks.
yeah, but it closes, leaving her in the hospital. So there's a patient.
There's
There's a
no
patient here.
and there's not even other
Like you
patients.
would think there'd be an orderly or somebody like I'm on the graveyard shift, or at least show me a body of somebody who's like they were on the graveyard shift and they died. There's
We
no
see
one.
we
There's
see
one person
one
comes in the
other
morgue.
person,
Yeah, comes in
which
the
is
morgue.
almost more alarming when no one else is in there. That there was just like, gotta go see those dead bodies while they're warm.
What were you going to do, sir?
It is also staged and blocked like a Resident Evil game. Like when she walks in,
Yes.
there's two bodies sitting there, and I immediately was like, "Oh, she has to press A on both
To
of these
start pushing
bodies."
them and moving, sliding this over and
Like
moving this to the side.
she take like yeah, every choice of this movie feels like someone who's like, I've got it. She's gonna have to hide in one of the morgue closets, I guess, and
Yeah.
she's gonna have to sit on top of her dead fiance
Hmm.
while she's doing this.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
but how did she crawl in there? How did she turn around? And it's as if she crawled in backwards so she could still
Right. So
look
she can
out the
still
door.
correct. Because normally most normal people would climb in front face forward and then
Normal
close it
people
with their
would not
feet.
climb into any
Touche.
morgues.
Touche. That's a fair point.
I also feel like if you witnessed your fiance die and there are all of these
You're going
vacant,
to choose a different one.
yeah, take a body out, put a
Yeah.
cloth over that body and
Yeah.
get in. I'm sure I don't know. She's pressed for time, I guess. I don't.
Yeah. I,
Oh my God.
there are a lot of things that Maya does in this movie, and some of them you'll talk about with as far as acting choices that she there's not a lot for her to be given. My biggest problem that I have with this film is that I can't attach to anybody. I don't give a rat's ass about anybody in this movie, and so it feels like we're just going through the motions. And like by the time this movie was ending, I sat there like, hold on, this entire movie could have been 15 minutes and just attached to the first film. Like I didn't need an entire movie to do this.
No, I'm pretty sure that what we're going to learn from all three of these movies is that it could have been one movie.
Correct. Because you didn't really need to do a on the rails beat by beat of the first film for the first time. You could have cut that entire opening sequence of them like getting to the house, just put them at the house, and then make 20 minutes of this movie, put it in there. Everything that's happening here is just like we're just watching somebody do an extended, super extended cut of a thought, one small thought. What if
Yeah, it
she survived? The end. That's all I got.
this whole movie feels like a thought experiment that was either cooked up by the studio or by the director. And I feel like we almost saw this happen with the Fear Street movies
Hmm.
that were once, if I remember correctly, they were originally meant to be released theatrically one after the other. And then they were just like, just sell it all to Netflix.
Sure, Netflix.
And they were pretty good.
Sure.
But it would have been very weird to like have them that close and
Hmm.
treating movies, especially movies that aren't very good, as a TV
Episodic
show that
television.
I have to pay to
Yeah.
keep coming back
Yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think
Um,
Stranger Things has sort of done that with these last few episodes, where they've been like these hour long, hour and a half long. But they're at their heart, they are still
it's
television
still a
series. And by the
television
point that we
show.
got there, we cared about those characters because we've had so much groundwork laid
Yeah.
before this. I
And they
don't
weren't
care
like, hey, come pay $20 for a ticket and
each
then come
time.
pay
Yeah,
$20 again.
yeah. Come back again and do it again. And I think outside of me not caring about Maya, they then ask me to care about the killers because they give them a backstory, and I hate all of it.
Okay, let's do the killer's backstory. I'm going to go all over the place with this one. I have both my notes I sent you, the rant that I texted you, and then my other like interesting data notes for when we get to the statistics about it.
Okay.
I'm going to skip my gold fingernails note, but why does she always have perfect gold fingernails? It was driving me insane that through all of this, she has
She's
been
still
she
manicured.
went through the entire first movie.
Yeah.
She went through this whole second movie. They are flawless. And not only are they flawless, they are like
She doesn't
sparkly,
even have a chip.
bright
Yeah.
gold. It
Yeah.
is such a bizarre, it's so clearly a choice. That's what's weird about it. It's so clearly a choice that is not explained or
I think that's
talked
one of my
about.
bigger issues with this version of this franchise as a whole. All of it has felt clean. It's all been like, hey, let's take the ideas of strangers, but like let's not do anything where anybody gets mucked up or dirty and like it doesn't feel grimy. Like this should feel like she's been through hell. And when I look at it at the end of it, I'm like, Maya still looks good. All
Well,
right.
you got to remember, she's fully capable of resuturing her wounds. Uh,
Fighting a boar because who
Fighting a boar. Oh, we'll talk about the boar. We'll talk about the boar. Will connect to the origin story. God, this movie is preposterous. It's just, I just, it feels like they made it with flashcards. It feels like someone threw a bunch of ideas at a fishbowl at a party, and they just threw things out onto a wall, and we're like,
and
sure,
they're
a
just like,
boar.
we'll connect this together somehow.
So
Yeah.
we try to stick to what the franchise has promised us, which is an explanation as to who these people are and why they're doing what they're doing, which is also a weird thing to do when you also are like, it's kind of a reboot. It's not really a prequel. So you're not really explaining to us why they did anything in the other two movies. We cut to 20 years ago, which by the math of this movie would be 2003,
Yeah.
which is I will give them this. I went to a Catholic private school until I was in like second or third or fourth grade. Those uniforms are accurate.
They are. They
I
are.
was like, that's what you wear.
Yeah.
And we first meet Pinup Girl. Is that what we? I hate everything about this
That's
franchise makes me
they don't have
angry.
they never gave us a name. Yeah, so yes.
So yeah, we meet Pinup Girl. She's making sandcastles alone at a park, and then a blonde girl it feels so tame. And I think that's the point. This is where the movie is weird. I think they're trying to make a point that is more interesting than the execution of it.
Yeah.
Because a little girl kicks down her one of the four things, not
Yeah, so
even the
she has
whole
four
one.
sandcastles. She just kicks the one.
She
Which
doesn't
was
really give a like ha ha. She doesn't pick on her. She doesn't call her names. She just
no,
kind of shrugs it off and leaves. Like she also doesn't apologize.
correct.
But I kind of read it as like innocuous.
Yeah, like I think
Um,
it's something that just kids do. Uh and I think this is the one thing where I think the film kind of was like, hey, pinup girl already sort of had this in her DNA.
she she was a psychopath. I
Correct.
think the movie is trying to frame
Yeah,
it's not that there's a reason the way Dexter has a reason,
correct.
but there are
It's
like sick
this is who
people
she is.
out
She's
there. And
sick,
if
right?
you,
She's right.
because then like I'm just gonna knock out I think all of these because they're so weird. Because then the second one when she's with her pet boars
Hmm.
that she apparently will have for 20 years. I don't know how
They
long.
don't. I guess boars
I
have a
don't.
very long shelf life.
I don't know. And she's with a boy. The boy's like, I want to do all these things. And then same blonde girl falls on a bike, hurts her ankle, and he goes and helps her. And she has a reaction to that as if she's being rejected. And she goes and she like breaks the neck of a mouse or a bird,
Yes, it was
which,
a
you know,
mouse, I believe. Yeah.
I don't know enough if it's just a stereotype or just a story, but I feel like
They
that's usually the like children
they
who
typically give
hurt
that
animals
are going
become
to become
psychopaths.
correct. Yeah.
They don't care about life. There is no.
Which I look, I yes, that is what is normally said, but it's a very as this movie is already doing things sort of like the easiest way that they can get the paint by numbers version, that is a very paint by numbers way to get to the point of saying Pinup
It
Girl, it was a sociopath.
it also is just so like, and this is what I mean by it's a more interesting point than execution because the execution of it is so like and I'm sure the point is like we're not meant to understand it. We're supposed to be like, but
Mhm.
clearly this isn't what the girl was trying to do. This isn't what her friend was trying to do. Everyone could have been included. These are all mistakes. And I think since we never meet parents or teachers or anyone else, it does just feel like it doesn't feel motivated enough. And I think
Yeah.
it's also a weird problem when you try to make a point like this in a movie Um, it doesn't feel earned.
And
And
I
I
think it's
think part of that is because we don't care about these
I
characters.
think it's harder when like pinup girl is just a mask. Like we don't see her as an adult. We don't see her. We don't talk to her. We even if she's a quote unquote psycho when she's an adult and we have a conversation with her, we never get to see her. So there's no way as an audience to ever attach to her. So what we're seeing is just the sort of flashcard versions of this that they're putting in front of us. And like I don't have there's not enough here for me to attach to her or care about how we got to where we're at.
Yeah, because there is no attempt to help her. There is no in the future, and maybe this is what the third one will be. We never hear her talk. We never hear her say anything.
Yeah.
We don't really we know so little about her that it is just sort of like a force of nature almost.
The one thing
Uh,
that did annoy me, that I was like, "Oh, go f yourself," is that the little girl's name is Tamara,
yeah,
and
no, now we're
that's the name that they use whenever they open up a door. Is Tamara home? I'm like, oh,
and she
stop.
knocks. Yeah, she
Yeah,
knocks on the door. She kisses the boy.
yeah.
She goes over. She kills this girl,
Is Tamara
and then
home?
yeah, she does that,
That's her.
which
That's
is
her slogan.
also, and I guess I wish I wish I knew more about psychopaths, um, and sociopaths because I feel like if she was like a real psychopath, there wouldn't even be this like clever moment that she
Hmm.
has of like I'm going to open the door and I'm going to say
Knocking on
something.
right.
She would have just like opened the door and
Gone for
beat
broke.
her to death. Yeah, like I feel like the game that she makes it feel like there's more or like she's not just crazy like
Especially putting the
she's
smiley face in the blood and just sitting in
well
the
I think
chair.
yeah I guess they both do
They're
it,
both, yeah,
which is
yeah.
also then weird like this boy just sees this and is like
It's like I like
I
this.
guess I'm stuck now.
Shouldn't have kissed Tamara.
um
I guess I got her killed. I'm gonna hang out with you for the rest of my life now.
and this of course creates more questions than it
Yeah,
answers. uh
yeah. Because then, and I hope
are
they
they
don't do it in this
dead? Are we
movie.
just passing this on to other because we also oh god yeah because we then in the year 2023 we're consistently now hearing like Jesus on the radio, like Jesus, not Jesus on the radio. That would be a whole different film of. Although wouldn't be surprised in this movie if they were just like that's
Yeah,
Jesus on the radio, but
yeah.
they're listening to like religious radio
Very faith-based
moments,
stuff. Yeah,
very faith-based things consistently, and they're kind of giving this illusion that
they're
they're
doing
also
this
doing
in the
this for a
name of Christ.
faith-based
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
outside of the fact that they are at a religious school when she first kills Tamara,
There's
there is
nothing in the history of franchise
nothing.
that has led us to believe that this is done on a
This
faith
is
motivated
also they do
crime.
this in broad daylight. We
Yeah,
see teachers and people running up to them. When she asks the nurse, "Oh, it's an old ghost story people tell." So there's so many like we have no idea. Is this something that happened? We put 20 years ago on it, so it did happen.
right.
Um, but we don't know. Is she now? Are we assuming that Pinup Girl is 25 or 26 or 30? Are we
Yeah.
assuming that this is a new version of this and they've created acolytes in this town?
Yeah, because like there's a third one of them that I hope there's not an entire movie that just gets spent on trying to explain that. But like we got the boy and the girl. We know the two of them and why they exist. So then they just like
We
accept
think
people.
we
We think
do.
we do. That's a fair
We
point.
think we do because the
Yeah.
movie thinks it's very smart.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and you're right. They frame up everyone as a red herring. Uh, she goes through her first wave of horrors. She gets picked up by the nurse
Yeah.
and 3 years of service in the military. These two women
Yeah.
who are talking about their like weird roommates who they then pick up on the side of the road.
Who
So
are even
like
weirder than they are weird. They're very weird.
and one of them is just kind of like he doesn't say much, but he's just kind of off-putting.
Right.
The
And the
other
other
one
says so
is like
much.
he says so much and he seems like he's drunk every single time we meet him.
Yeah, like there's never and there's a lapse of time. So there's some of like unless you've just been actively drinking, you should have sobered up by this point in time. But no,
Yeah.
he's still even when he sees them again back at the house, he's still in the same mode that he was in that car. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, Maya, your thought process of jumping out of the car was smart. You should jump out of this house now too, because this guy
Yeah.
clearly you don't want to be here.
She has like a panic attack where she thinks everyone's wearing the masks,
Yeah.
which for a minute I was like, oh, this is what the movie's going to be. She just thinks everyone
Everybody is. Yeah.
is doing it. She falls down for so long,
That's a long drop.
fixes
Yeah.
herself up on the water,
Her
bites
nails
down
are
on the
fine though.
stick. Nails are every scene. It's so, and it wouldn't bother me if they weren't like gold. Like it's just such a bold choice. Is there, did I miss me in the first movie that she was like, I need to do
I
this
had to paint my
gold.
gold. Yeah.
My boy likes his gold nails. Yeah, we then had to do, I think, you know what? No, we missed a part that is equally frustrating because before she gets picked up, she goes to the barn where she tries to
Mm,
call somebody and a random woman is like, what are you doing? And she's like, I need to call the police. And she's like, the sheriff won't help you. And then she gets shot by a crossbow.
yeah.
And then we go through the horse and then she stabs one of the killers with a pitchfork, which
Hmm.
seemingly does nothing to them.
No, no. So now it gets to the point where it's like, wait, are they human underneath there and sociopath, or is there now some like are they resurrected
Are
from the
they
dead?
just wearing stuff to help them
Right.
out?
Yeah.
And the only thing this woman says of substance is the sheriff is, and then she gets popped.
Before,
So
yeah.
you have to assume the sheriff, even though the next time we see him, he is investigating and finding the red truck that she said they were driving,
Hmm.
which is strange. And then I don't think we see them anymore.
No.
Because then she falls down the river. We then do the craziest directing choice in this movie, where it is lower on the ground and it is super fast, and it is revealed to be a boar.
Sometimes you got to
she
have the first person view of a boar.
They do it the way other horror movies do it when like an alien or a predator
Correct.
is coming
Yeah.
up and you're like, even I for a second was like, oh, are we about to like, what are we about
It's
to
become a different movie.
do?
Yeah.
Like, was this about to get like crazy awesome? No, it's gonna
No.
get so much dumber.
Yeah.
She's fixed her ankle. And we are getting to the choices that Maya makes as an actress, where I'm like, she is so much better than this entire franchise, and I will prove it after she fights this boar. She spends so much time in the car. She gets in this broken down car that the boar is annihilating. The way she is screaming and moving and reacting is like, oh, this is better than anything she's done up to this point in this
Hmm.
movie. The boar then knocks her around, and it almost feels like a comedic moment. Like it almost feels like we're about to have like a Timon and Pumbaa, like she's like gonna pet and play with it. Then it steps on her back,
Yeah.
which for all of the
Yeah.
injuries she's done, that was the one where I was like, oh, her back is broken.
Yeah.
Like that's it. This 200-pound boar
Because she's
stepped on her back.
maybe 90, like 105 at most. Like she's a tiny girl, so it's like, yeah, that's going to take her out.
She has broken her ankle. She has been
Yeah.
concussed. She has hurt her hands. She is cut up. She's
Yeah.
been stabbed. Let's not forget the first thing that happened
Hasn't
yesterday to her.
eaten food in hours.
She hasn't eaten. Around the time the boar attacked her is when my brain was like, oh, she hasn't had water or food
Correct.
in like, and that's when I was like, oh, that's why the boar is here. She's going to kill this
And
boar
eat the food.
and eat this
Yeah.
boar.
Yeah.
She doesn't. She just stabs it. And then she then like really hurts her ankle
She
again.
does. Yeah.
And I will give the actress, I will give Madeline this. She spends the rest of that movie
She
on
sells
a
that.
limp.
She sells that limp.
She sells that limp better than the DP does because she like bobs out of frame. Like
Yeah,
she's
they're
doing
not
it.
in the rhythm with yeah.
No one else cares.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, where I'm like, she is making everyone else apparently on this film has checked out, and she is just like, no, I still have a job to do. It may not be a good job, but it has
But
to
I'm
be
here and
done.
I'm the lead on these, so let's go.
Yep. She feels like a student actress who's in a bad student film who is like, if I can get 2 scenes for my reel out of this, if I can just get 2 scenes,
Yeah.
it'll all be worth it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, then we get to the house, which is near the lake house.
Everything's so
While this
close.
is the other MacGuffin of the movie is this paramedic who her friend has sent to help her. Uh, an
Because if I
internal
recall in
of
the first one, she had reached out to her friend before cell services
yeah.
hit the shit. Yeah,
Um, yeah, there we meet them. We red herring the hell out of everyone.
everyone.
Another insane period of time passes because I don't like, she barricades herself in,
She
she
does.
gets attacked, and then it's as if the three strangers, oh, and the one guy, smiley face, oh, we all got these tattoos, is what he says, which is why a part of me is like, is he the killer, or is there going to be some twist of like, if you have the smiley face, you're safe?
Right.
There's a
Like
part of me that's like, if you have that tattoo, they don't
we
kill
won't.
you.
Yeah.
Um, which would also not really be psychopathy or sociopathy, I don't think.
Definitely
Um,
not random.
that's more like cult
Yeah.
behavior. But he seems so like despondent and disassociated
Hmm.
and depressed, and he's like fascinated with her,
Yeah.
that a part of me was like, oh, he's not in on this. He just
He's
has the
just a
tattoo.
fanboy.
He knows everything,
Yeah, he's just the
but
massive
he's
fanboy of this
yeah,
whole.
and he's just
And like, you
drunk.
survived
And
this? How did you survive this? Like, he feels like the way that he says you survived this lets me think like he has like
I
an entire book of like, I know everybody that's died at the hands of these guys, and I don't know how the hell you did
so
this.
my theory on it, because they say that he has all this money and a boat that his family left him. I think it's going to be that his family was strangers, and now he has that tattoo, and it's going to
That's
be
okay.
like, no, the survivors have it,
Hmm. Got
or
it.
the like safe, and he's
Yeah.
going to be like, how did this little redhead
How
survive,
did
and
you
like my
survive this?
family
Like,
get
yeah.
murdered,
Yeah.
which would be interesting to kind of have that, because then
Give me
he
something.
leaves.
Yeah, he's
Like he
gone.
leaves in his car. And then what took them like all night in one movie, they do to this ex military woman,
In
the
like
nurse,
moments.
moments. They're still fully tied up. It's like
Yeah.
it's as if they did the whole routine. It
Right. Like
is it
they did the first movie in the short amount of time that happened. I'm like, did they talk to them and knock on the door and do the whole like play around with them for a little bit?
which I think also is supposed to point at like he's one of the killers. But I almost am like, wouldn't it? And now I'm doing more work than the writers did. But I was like, wouldn't it almost be make more sense if he's not the killer, but he's like, I need to get out of here because they're coming.
Because I know this
I
setup.
know what's about to go
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets out of that. She stabs one of them in the car in the ear at the where the paramedic who's obviously dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
I skipped the internal affairs officer who showed up and is like, I'm investigating all these murders that happen here, and then immediately is killed, which means now in this universe,
Voila.
there's an internal affairs
That's
investigation.
that's
Like this,
dead.
in the third movie, the next movie should be an action film where it is just like SWAT teams.
Yeah.
Like, this guy never came back. So many people have died here. Send the cavalry. Just send
Yeah,
everyone.
just send every like people keep dying. Send everyone you
The
got.
sheriff has done nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next movie should be like a half
Everyone's
complete action film.
coming in on this
Yeah.
small town. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be the everything, it's over.
Yeah.
It's converging on
And you
them.
know, with Rennie Harlan, I wouldn't mind that. Like, let's cliffhanger this shit. Let's just bring them all in here.
It would be awesome if the third movie saves all three of these. If the third movie is like Maya discovers some weird cult, and in the 11th hour they just like they do the end of Glass where just like everyone
Oh yes,
swarms and just
yes.
blasts them away.
Yeah.
Like, and she's like, luckily I found the book of why they all do this. And they're just like, ah, man, girl was snapping necks of rats.
Yeah.
It's a shame no one was paying attention, but it is. And that's like the whole thing. We go through all of it. I talked about the boar.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
well,
you
it's
know
crazy
what?
because like they stab her, she
We
stabs old girl with the scissors in the neck, and then she lives enough to get back up to choke. I was like, are these guys supernatural or not? Because I don't know
we
what
have to flip an ambulance over.
I'm like, the ambulance flipping and her getting thrown out of the car
And you know
kills
what?
her, but not the scissors
Still
to the
not
neck.
convinced. Still not convinced. My only other two notes on my phone, and this is exactly why, is this already over? And you know why I know I said that? Because exactly what I wrote down is every moment is stretched into infinity to fill time.
Hmm.
This move, she returns to the lake house where she finds her fiance's sweater and she like pulls it like
Yes.
she's kneading bread and smells it and wears it. And you are
It's
just
weird
like,
stuff like that. Like, why are we in an art house film all of a sudden, guys? It's fucking
why?
pictures. Let's go.
And it is just like, oh, because these three movies aren't long enough to
We
be
don't
three
have anything
movies.
here, so we're just filling this with whatever we can find.
We have to sit on the shot of this guy we met twice who's been killed with a bag over his head for a full minute because there's no other time.
Yeah.
Even though you could have done so much more. You could have been like, okay, we have an ex-military person, we have a nurse, and we're gonna do this like mini strangers movie in the movie. And we could have done some shit, but we do none of that. We loaded Chekhov's gun in this movie and then forgot where we put the gun.
Yeah.
Like we set up so many things to just be like, no, they all got killed off camera. Don't worry about it.
And I have
Aren't
no
you
idea
scared?
how I have no idea. It's only a couple minutes, but I have no idea how the first movie is shorter than this movie. And there is absolutely nothing that happens in this movie. Like I'm
No,
sitting here
we've
like,
covered all of it. We
what do
rip
you
off Halloween
yeah.
2 in an
Yes.
empty hospital.
Yeah.
Then we do we intercut with flashbacks.
We do some
Then we go to
first
Farm
Omen
1.
flashbacks. Yeah.
We have to keep coming back to this diner for them to keep having weird conversations that the whole town can hear.
Open forums
And
about murder.
and okay, and then we do unmask Pinup Girl. And Terrence, I don't know if I just didn't care or if I wasn't paying attention or if the movie doesn't matter. There are too many white brown haired girls in this
The
movie
brunettes
because
in
they
this in that
unmasked her
diner,
as if
and I'm
I'm
like,
supposed to care.
they unmasked her. I'm like, I don't know who the hell
I
that is. I
don't,
don't,
because it was the nurse at the
and you don't get
diner
a clear
overhearing
shot,
them.
and you don't really get a clean shot of her face. It's kind of like a 3/4 shot, so you're kind of like looking over his
Yeah.
shoulder and seeing her, and I'm just like, I don't know who she is. And there's the one girl who was at the bar at the diner who I think that could, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I'm like,
shouldn't have to be doing this much work. to
was it anyone, right? Is the
Right,
first question.
right.
We know it's not the nurse, but if I remember right, the nurse is the one at the diner who's like turning around and overhearing stuff.
Hmm.
And then we have the person who's like, let me tell you my theories. I don't
Yeah,
think that's her.
yeah,
It's definitely not the old woman who is pouring them
correct.
coffee.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other characters we meet in the film.
Right. And so that would be even worse if it's somebody that we have not seen, because I definitely don't know. I don't know who she is. If it is somebody I met, and if it's somebody, that's cheap. That's cheap if you're pulling somebody like this
It,
person you've never seen, and we're going to flash a to be continued after that because she means so much to whatever they're
it
going to do.
is pointless. They almost should have just not, because it is almost weird that they unmask her as if to be like, is it her? Like,
Right.
could it be another person I put this? And then he doesn't take his off. And that's why I'm
Correct.
like, I don't think it's the guy with the tattoo. Because I think if it was, we would have all three of them would have taken off their masks. We would know who all three of them were. And the next
Correct. And
movie
then
would
go
just
into
be
the next.
like,
Right.
kill them.
Because where I'm sitting at the end of this movie is like, I don't care about any of these folks. You've got Maya off to the. She's watching this all happen. By the way, she hasn't left, which is a little weird, and that she didn't run. Run.
What does she have left energy wise, Terrence?
That's true.
She chugged water out of a faucet in a kitchen that had glasses.
Yeah,
So she drank that out of it, and then she had like a few pretzels. She's been
yeah.
running.
She's got no
I don't,
energy.
unless they fed her in that frat house that was down the street from the murder house.
Yeah,
Uh, what is it
but
is
I think it's a choice to end the movie on faceless characters or characters that we have no attachment to. Like you end this movie, Maya's off to the side. Maya, for this point right now, she is still fine. They don't know she's still around right there. You ending this movie with the three villains that we don't know. And the only backstory that you sort of given is that the one of them that's now dead was kind of cuckoo when she was in Catholic school when she was 20 years ago. The end. Don't
the
you want to come
end.
back for a
Oh,
third? No.
here's a here's a bonkers teaser for the third one in the credits. Where Maya is apparently wearing one of the masks now.
Yeah.
Uh, and she's also at some like underground church with this giant gold cross. Uh, and then some random person we don't know is at a hotel and is like, "See you soon." And it's like an AI trailer for the next
Yeah.
movie. It is
Yeah.
so weird, and I'm fascinated, and I hate it. I hate that I'm fascinated because Terrence, I'm gonna read out loud what I texted you after I saw the movie because slowly, as my brain went crazy, I walked out mad, and every step I took, I laughed more and more because I was like, "This might be brilliant. This might be." The smartest because it is not satisfying because it's supposed to be random and it's not scary because it's not scary
Right.
because I now feel like I could like fight someone who invaded my home.
Hmm.
Like I feel like I if as long as I don't go to the unknown Appalachian mountains these people live in. Um, but this is amazing because and this is where I'm like Madeline is the best part of this whole movie. Maya is she's such a better actress than this movie because the one thing that I felt consistently was that she was like in pain or just pissed
Yeah.
every moment she wakes up like in her underwear and instead of being like confused or perplexed, she checks her scars and then is just like, gotta get my pants on and my hoodie and
Gotta
get the
go.
fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
every like expression she has is a mix of like, I have to deduce what's going on. Obviously, I'm in danger. I need to get out. Don't trust anyone. She's
Go.
always darting her eyes.
Hmm.
She's always aware of any other actor in this bad of a movie would have stopped
Would have
limping and
stopped
stopped
doing that.
holding her
Yeah.
wound.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
and she never stops. It is
Right.
amazing. She is all of us. I feel like we are all Maya in this franchise now because we are tortured by it. It won't go away. And I'm so invested now that I just have to know. Instead of
Yeah.
leaving the town like any intelligent person, like half of the moviegoers who did this weekend didn't go.
Woo.
Um,
Yeah.
I must see this third movie. Maya is
Yeah.
the best final girl because she is pulling me through her trauma
She's making me
because I
go. Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to understand the ununderstandable. And I think that is where it is. She is the perfect conduit for the audience because this is a movie about random crime that's meaningless and she is trying to find meaning and I am also trying to find meaning.
Watching these
It is
random ass
it is
movies.
perfect. It is so frustrating. They don't need to tell us who this woman is because she's all of us. She's
Yeah.
the audience. We're also mad and frustrated, and it feels like a bore has tackled me. This is a 4D experience of trauma and torture,
Yeah.
and it might be the greatest, worst movie. Because
Yeah.
I've walked out of so many movies and been like, that was bad, and I'm not going back. And I walked out of this and I was like, that was really bad.
I need to see how
But
this
fuck
finishes.
you. I have to
Yeah.
know how it
Yeah.
ends. I
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah.
This is like people who get invested in TV shows and they're like, yeah, it dropped off after season 5,
Yeah,
but
like
like
I'm
I
I'm on
gotta know
season
what's going on the
18, but I
island.
can't stop. I'm too invested at this point now. Yeah.
Is the island heaven? Is it hell? Is it
Yeah.
purgatory? Are they
Yeah.
dead? Are they alive? I gotta know.
So I
Like,
looked it up just so we could know for sure. They did a month of reshoots on both on two and three, but only a week went to two. 3 weeks went to three. So the
that makes so
majority of
much
their
sense
reshoots went to three.
because that trailer is a different film.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, but now you've robbed me of knowing what terrible, terrible ending you had.
What did you have before?
Could you imagine only doing a week of reshoots on this
You thought this
movie?
was good. You're like, you know what? We only need to do a couple of, we're going to do 4 or 5 days. We're good, guys. We're going to lock it
And
up.
this is the unfortunate part because we live in a world, if we're going to try to do this, like, well, why are we, why is this back? I feel like there are so many people trying to understand violence right now and trying to understand all of it. Everyone is confused and everyone is looking for meaning. It is such a great time to have a movie that really hits that it's random and that it's meaningless and then there's meaning within it. Like I think we
Hmm.
we do nihilistic shows and movies a lot and usually we arrive at like okay, well you can't do anything about the bigger picture, but you can do this.
Right.
And this is a movie where we're like, it's random. No one will understand why this is happening, and no one will move on.
Yeah.
It is, it's such a cynical theme of the movie to just kind of be like, I don't know, there was a crazy girl and we just sort of let her do it. Because I
Yeah.
feel like that's where this is going. There's just going to be one of these two women, possibly. We don't even know if it's the pinup girl who was unmasked. Because
Right.
apparently, what I forgot to mention is that we then see her in when the sandcastles get broken. She pulls up a doll with the pinup mask on, as if this is an action figure sold
Hmm. Yeah,
nationwide.
everybody is just like putting on it's like the ghost face. Like you can just go to the store and pick up the
Yeah,
ghost face.
anyone can buy it.
Yeah.
So we don't know. We're making a lot of assumptions. Uh, so for all we know, she is just like, I run this town.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's going to be something dumb that like the lake house is where something romantic or nice happened. And now when people are there, she's like, not today, person. Um, there again, we're just going to keep stealing from Halloween and he has to
Yeah.
go back to his house. Uh, I'm sure that then it's going to be some weird Stockholm syndrome with the guy. He's in love, but he doesn't want to be there. I don't know who this third person is, but I am confident that the sheriff is the father of at least one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's going to find some weird distorted version of the church
That attack. Yeah.
because and
That
some
they're
other
all a part
crazy
of.
person is going to be like, well, clearly my daughter knew that there was a demon inside of Tamara, and like,
Yeah.
and like then that's what we're going to do. I don't know why she's wearing a mask now because she has very red hair and it's
Yeah,
weird to
like
be like,
it's
I'm going to
still
pretend.
yeah, like you don't
But
you
again,
unlike all the other brunettes that are there, you stick out.
a part of me is like, yeah, let's flip the script. Because if there's one thing we haven't done, to my knowledge, in slasher movies, has
Is
been
have
like,
the
hey, what if the final girl put on the mask and was the
and
killer
said,
in the
F
next
it,
one,
I'm
but she
gonna
was
murder
killing
all
the
of you.
killers?
Yeah. Sign me up. I'll do that. Yeah.
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 And it is, it's
I do
unfortunate that this movie is missing the mark.
I do think it's interesting though, and this is what's going to be funny because we've seen diminishing returns. Because The Strangers, when we first went to that first one, the audience was there. Like you had the audience, they were there. I think it made like 48 million worldwide. Like that's a decent amount of money on a $8 million. Now, what I'm confused about, and like maybe you can help me. It says 8.5. I don't know if that's 8.5 for all three, or if that's 8.5 like kind of divided
You
between them.
know, now that you say that, I don't know. Because I don't think
Because that's the one thing that hasn't been clear to
it
me.
would make sense for it to be all three.
Right. Like based on what I see and what's on screen, I can see that being 8.5 split between the three films because it doesn't look like it's 8.5 per. That said,
Well, let's
this made
see.
48. This one only
8.5.
made 5.9 million
So when
dollars.
I, yeah, yeah, no, when I look up Strangers Chapter 1 budget, it says 8.5. When I look up Chapter 2 budget, it says 8.5.
So
So
I
I
think
think it
that
is
sets
just
us 8.5
all three of the,
worldwide
which again is where I'm like, this move, this whole trilogy is an experiment. Can we make
because they've already
three
made their
movies
like
for
the
eight and
first
a
movie.
half million
Yeah, the first
dollars?
movie made 48 million worldwide. So like they've already made their money back.
Yeah,
They're in the green. So at this point now, Lionsgate's like screw it, just throw it out. I don't
whatever.
do whatever you want to do with it. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, it's, and the franchise itself, which I wrote down, has only cost, where did it go? Oh, maybe I didn't write it down. No, I did. It's cost 30 million to make all of these movies, and it has made
So
162
yeah,
million as a franchise. So it's very weird when we have to be like, does it matter if it's good or not? And the answer is it should.
it should.
Like,
Right.
I'd like it to. I don't think that anyone has set out to make three bad movies, even though it feels that
It
way.
feels like yeah.
Like it again, it feels like there's going to be this is a money laundering scam. That's what these
Yeah,
three
it
movies
doesn't feel
are.
like there was any true this is my idea for this story. It feels like and you can sort of say this with the way that they're doing the reshoots, especially for the third one, where they took the feedback from the first film is like, all right, cool, whatever we thought we were doing for this third film no longer matters. We're going to do whatever the audience is telling us to
It's
do.
very funny to me that even with three planned filmed movies, they still ended up making movies the way you do when there aren't three planned movies. Like that, I think is the funniest part of this.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's funny. This is somehow on a much smaller scale and smaller budget has become the Halloween movies. in
Yeah, I mean,
Halloween.
I think that that's clearly what they're doing. I think
Yeah.
they don't want to admit it, but that's what they're doing. Because to
How
be
that last
fair,
trilogy did
that
the sort of the same thing where it's like we had an idea, no, we really don't. We have no idea what we're doing by the time we get to
yeah,
this last one.
and even like the original Halloween is just doing what this is proposing better. Oh, Michael one day killed his sister. We don't
Yeah.
know why. We don't know what happened, and now he's a killer.
There
And
we
this
go.
movie is apparently like she was crazy. She's still crazy, and she has somehow pulled in two or other
She's gotten
people
other crazy people to join her in her
to join
craziness.
her, and there is now just a murder town. It's just simply a murder town in wherever we are in America, Ohio, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I know it's not filmed in America because when it was like filmed somewhere
Well,
else with all this
because
forestry, and I was like, that makes sense
Pray
because
at
it
Night
looks,
it is in Ohio. I feel like it's Ohio, but I know Pray at Night definitely was Ohio because I remembered specifically that one. This one I
yeah.
think is or this one's Oregon. This one's Oregon.
It also kind of annoys me that we're not using the other two movies in this continuity at all.
I love Pray
Like
at Night. I love them
I
both
would,
original ones, but Pray at Night's fun.
like, I kind of just wish we had found a way to tie all of these together, even though, like, why would you want to?
Yeah,
Uh, but
yeah.
like, it's just a very, oh yeah, Slovakia. That's where they filmed them. Bratislava, Slovakia, which makes a lot of sense then when you look at all those giant, serene shots. Yeah, it is a shame because it's like, well, Texas Chainsaw does this better. Halloween
Mhm.
does this better. You've now kind of taken a cult classic and run it through the mud.
That's the problem that's happening right now, is that even if you were to go back to the try like the brand is being watered and muddied up real good. Because those first two movies, they had audiences, people were like, hey, I like these. And that's why the word of like for the first one, people came out they were ready to say, hey, like, what's the next piece of this? And you've lost them. And now you're burning them with this one. This isn't any better. Like this is going to be a hard if anybody ever tries to do a strangers after this, they're gonna have to wait some time and they're gonna
Oh,
have to wish all the wash all the stink off of this.
Terrence, have you not heard the word? Uh,
Okay.
and maybe this has changed in their reshoots, but there's a quote from Rennie Harlan at one of the Comic Cons, Chapter 3, and I quote, has an intentional cliffhanger
Oh
to
boy.
pay homage to old horror movies and also keep us open to more.
God.
Isn't that amazing?
As much as I love Rennie Harlan, I would say please keep him away from this
What are
franchise
we
moving
doing?
forward.
What are we doing? Like, what are we? This feels like an episode of The Studio where, like, I just feel like there's someone like Seth
Yes.
Rogen just being like, what's happening? Why are we? What's
Why
going
is this?
on?"
Why is this in this movie? What are we doing?
One other fun fact about this movie is that it stole the release date of Saw 11, which was supposed to come out this weekend and was canceled and removed from Lionsgate's slate. A fun fact about Saw 10, the last Saw movie to come out, is that it made $112.8 million on a $13 million budget, which is almost what this entire franchise has
All
made.
of them combined.
And if we're looking at net, it's also almost that net.
Yeah.
So
That's the
I
I think that's
don't know
the
why we
other
couldn't
part.
figure out Saw 11.
I think that's the other part of the Strangers thing is that like yes, it is also a very niche. It's never made gangbusters anytime. So like why who thought going to the well three times for this franchise made the most sense.
It is what's happened to this October in terms of movies is fascinating because like Saw 11, if I remember right, they were simply like the producers can't agree. Oh, now it's canceled. Oh, now Blumhouse has bought it.
Yeah.
Uh, an insane turn of events. Uh, this movie slid into its spot. I know it's not October yet, but you know what I mean. The spooky season.
Hmm.
We now have like a dead first weekend of October, probably because they were like, let Saw 11 go
Do its
nuts.
thing. Yeah.
We now have a second dead weekend in October because Mortal Kombat 2 got pushed.
That was the other. Yeah.
So happy Halloween. Enjoy
Yeah.
Black Phone 2. Like
Right. If you got
it's
black phone, good luck. That's all you're
it,
getting.
absolutely crazy. My last stupid thing that I wrote down because I had to was to address these stats at the top of the movie. They try to posit it as if most murders are random. I don't remember what the actual figure is they give. It doesn't matter because that figure is either incorrect or we're using data incorrectly. In 2023, if you simply search homicide reports and they break it down into who knew their killer and who didn't, nearly twice as many people who died knew who their killer was. Which would account for 75% of
Yeah.
all murders are people that they know. When you then are like, hey, what's up with random murders? Are they like serial killings like this? No. They are moments of desperation.
It's
Robbery has
mostly,
gone
yeah,
wrong.
yeah. It's either moments of passion or
But
desperation.
but
And
the
you,
movie is trying to posit that like 50% of crime
yeah,
is like masked killers.
that just all of a sudden come out of nowhere and just start killing for random. Like that's how the world just operates.
It's hilarious almost. It's so
Yeah.
like, oh God, what an exhausting franchise. I'm so excited to come back here in a year and do three, which doesn't, I think, have a release date yet.
I was just about to say they don't have a date yet. They will throw it out when they realize, like,
Well,
hey,
we got to
nothing else is
see.
coming out this weekend.
I hope they do release it though. I'm going to be so angry if Lionsgate,
We
who's
go through
having one
all of
of
this. Oh, you better
all of
put that
this,
thing out.
all of it,
Yes.
Lionsgate. I know you have money from your weird international
Yeah.
DVD sales or whatever, even though you're like a floundering movie studio. Uh, release. I will be. Oh, I'd be so mad if they
I would
Batgirl
be mad.
Strangers 3.
Yeah.
I'd be so mad.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that just make all of us Maya again? We would all have to go through this.
I would hope that the way that the contract set up for Madeline, that they have to release
They
three because she
have to.
filmed three, so I feel like they have to release it. I hope that's written in there somewhere.
I mean, you have to. There's a weird trailer for it.
Yeah.
Just like, who's even left in this town? The sheriff?
I was gonna say they've killed
Because
basically
when was
everyone.
the last time we saw him in the movie? He investigates the red truck.
That I think that's the final time that he's seen.
Hey, there's
Because he's
that
not.
truck that the killers were driving.
Yeah.
Goodbye, movie.
See you in three.
Oh my God. It is.
Yeah.
What an awesomely bad movie. What a disaster. What an unmitigated, just like, oh my God. I'm so happy that we did this. I'm so happy. What a stupid, insane use of our time. I would recommend no one watch it. That's how I felt
Yeah.
leaving. I was like, what a fun time that I had because I get to go do this stupid show. And if someone
Yeah.
was like, should I go see it? I'd be like, in no
Absolutely not. There
universe
is no
should
world
you.
where you should ever see this.
You don't. There's so many better bad movies and
There's a lot of things you
better.
can be doing.
There's so many things that are going to give you more joy.
Don't do that to
But
yourself.
man, if you get wrapped up in it, you are just like, I don't know, what else you got? What other stupid nonsense? It's how I feel about Fast and the Furious, where I'm like, sure, just why not? Whatever,
All
throw it
right.
at me. I don't
Well,
care. I'm going to sit here
well.
with my beer and my popcorn and we're going to see how the world burns. Why not? Let's see what you spend on a small country's economy.
I would say at the very least, even if Lionsgate does not release it in theatrically, give it to somebody. But here, we're going to VOD
They
this thing in
have
this
to.
case.
Yeah. It's weird that it's done and they
Well,
could just,
that's why I'm like they might just release it and put it on VOD because they're already like, look, we've already paid for it. We already got our money back because the first one did so well. If you want it, you can go
yeah,
ahead and have it.
it's very odd that they're just like, it's done. Unless
Yeah.
they're really going to be like, no, 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 we want to see all the reviews first and then we'll go make a better movie. What a weird little experiment. That's how I feel this whole movie. I'm like, this is an experiment.
Yeah.
This is an experiment that went horribly wrong. You filmed three movies back to back to back, and the original plan must have been we are just going to be like this October, come see Strangers Chapter 1, and then 2, and then 3. And we're going to keep you on the edge of your seat, and we are going to get you to charge almost $100 to witness this.
Yeah.
It did not work. Uh, half half the people saw it. That's our show, everybody. You can follow along on Hollywood ADI on Twitter and TikTok. I'm at as always Blake. Terrence is at Terrence Tatum. There's also our YouTube show, Hollywood Already Did It, where Terrence reviews TV shows and has trailer reactions. And we will see everybody for the next one.